Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ortmeyer Stadium. Abrupt kickoff here between the Redlands Bulldogs and the University of Laverne Leopards. I'm Nate Rodriguez alongside Cesar Rivas, bringing to you today's Saturday rainy Skyak football action here from Ortmeyer Stadium in Laverne. The Leopards in their green jerseys looking to defend their home turf as Redlands comes in off of a big victory against Chapman, trying to keep Laverne winless in the Skyak. Redlands won the coin toss and elected to receive. They have the ball down at the 30-yard line, 1st and 10 for sophomore quarterback Tyler Tremaine, who threw 4 touchdowns last week against Chapman. He takes the snap and looks over the middle. Pass is dropped, however.
You know, Nate, with the weather the way it is today, for guys trying to get in a rhythm, the quarterback's trying to get in a rhythm today, throwing that wet ball. Hopefully both offensive coordinators were working the wet ball drill all week long. This is going to be a factor probably at least for the first half of play today.
Inclement weather, including lightning, is forecasted for tonight's game and may lead to the suspension of play. ULV's medical staff and game administration will administer the NCAA lightning policies. The competition will resume 30 minutes after if lightning strikes. Meanwhile, Tremaine able to make lightning strike with a pass over the middle. Laverne will bring Redlands down just about the 35-yard line. Tremaine quickly 1 for 2. Great pass over the middle.
And as I say that passing game is going to hit some trouble. They hit a long one over the middle. Looks like he split the safeties on that one. Some sort of quarters to cover 2 concept. Got it right down thread of the kneel.
Greg Padgett with the catch, the senior wide receiver from Steilacoom, Washington. Now Tremaine, 1st and 10 on Laverne's 34. Ball is dropped right after the snap. Laverne looks like they might have recovered it. And sure enough, it is a Leopards recovery. Just like that, Tremaine fumbles the ball. Laverne able to recover it. They'll take over.
And number 94, David Vega, comes up with a huge turnover. You know, last week the Leopards started off the very first play from scrimmage with a strip fumble, scoop and score by number 28, Oscar. Number 28, the linebacker, came up huge, returned it for a touchdown, and that unfortunately was the only points of the day for the Leopards, but what a big-time play, back-to-back opening drives, back-to-back weekends.
Yes, indeed. There you see there, Laverne come on top of the fumble recovery. Now it'll be Nick Garcia out to lead the Leopards. His first play, a handoff, and a gain of a few.
So the Leopards going to sit here and settle down a little bit, try to establish the run here with the wet ball conditions. Tale of 2 different stories here. Redlands comes on out slinging it, and the Leopards coming on out trying to pound the ball.
Well, we've seen already this season the Leopards struggle to throw the ball here at Ortmeyer Stadium. They struggled to run it last weekend in Claremont against Pomona Pitzer. Back-to-back plays, they opt to run it. This one was on 2nd and 5. Not sure they picked up too much, maybe a couple on that one.
And they're just running inside zone, trying to run at the heart of the defense right now, seeing if they can establish some physicality to start this ball game. I know talking to Coach Creek and Coach Martinez, it's been a big area of emphasis and really trying to get things going here to start the game in a positive direction.
Kickoff started just about 5 minutes ago at 1:02. Now the rain sweeping in as the Leopards try to advance into Redlands territory. 3rd and 4 from their own 44. Garcia pressured, will scramble right, hold it. Looks to get into the Redlands sidelines and will. And he'll move the chains doing so.
You know, when there's nothing downfield, rather than make a bad decision, he's just tucked it and ran, picked up the first down yardage marker right there, give or take around the 40-yard line or so.
That's big for the Glendale Community College transfer quarterback, Nick Garcia, picking up the first down conversion on 3rd down. Leopards came into this game converting on 3rd down just 22% of the time. They're able to keep their first drive going. Quick tackle there by the Redlands defensive line.
You know, big number 11, Julian Martinez, trying to lead the way up through that gap. Unfortunately, running back got clothesline there, trying to make it through the line of scrimmage. Ended up not picking up very many, but we're going to go 2nd and long here, see what the Leopards do.
Looks to be about 2nd and 8 or 9 from the 50. Kind of an obstructed view from where Caesar and I are at. Can't see the scoreboard quite well. But we could see Nick Garcia take this snap, throw right, and connect with his receiver. That's number 84.
Jimmy Rumsey,
one of our players to watch for the game from Corona.
coming into the ball game with 8 catches for 193 yards. He's kind of been the go-to cowbell type guy the last couple weeks as Nick Garcia has been settling in to his starting quarterback role.
Rumsey, the top target for Garcia last week, 4 catches for 58 yards. His first there on this Saturday afternoon. It's a wet one from Ortmeyer Stadium, 0-0 between the Redlands Bulldogs and Laverne Leopards. Garcia looking for an option. He'll hold it himself and hit the turf. Smart play by the Leopards quarterback, keeping the ball moving. It's 3rd down.
Looks like he's going to be close right now. Let's see where the white hat spots the ball here.
PA announcer thought it was a first down. Go ahead, Caesar.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to give him 4th and inches right now.
Ball is down at the Redlands 43-yard line. 4th down and inches, as my partner mentioned. 10 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock. We're in the first quarter from Ortmeyer Stadium. Garcia will hand the ball off. The Leopards, it's going to be a close one. Redlands doing everything they can to prevent the first down, and it'll be a turnover on downs.
Went back to the inside zone right there. He tried to cut back off the backside of that left tackle, and he was just met with a whole host of white Redland jerseys back there to stop him, get that turnover on downs for the defense.
Good job by the Redlands defense to get their offense back onto the field. For the Leopards, a tough go of things right there. We're able to convert on 3rd down their first time around. Almost got the first down, but ended up a bit short. Redlands defense came in clutch.
They're holding everybody to about 90 yards right now.
Tremaine looking over the middle, a little bit short. Ball was deflected out of the hands. That was number 83 for the Bulldogs.
Looks like Redlands is really trying to establish the passing game right now. That was the game plan coming on in. And usually when you try to script your first dozen or so plays coming into a ball game, I think they were banking on maybe not having some inclement weather, but nonetheless, they're still trying to commit to throwing the football to start this ball game.
A little less rain now with the Bulldogs out on the turf. That last pass was intended for Caleb Hatton. Just a bit low from Tremaine. The sophomore from Folsom, California, takes the snap, looks right this time, and hits his target. It's going to take a quartet of Leopards to bring the receiver down. That's sophomore Seth Weller from Olympia, Washington.
And the Leopards came in and brought some pressure from the face side of the quarterback. The offense is right, and he just slung it in there on that dig to the number 1 receiver out there.
First down and 10 from the Laverne 36. Leopards defense could use a big stop of their own here. We're about 5 minutes through the first quarter from Ortmeyer Stadium. Nothing between the Bulldogs and Leopards. Tremaine will hand it off. Leopards defense doing a good job of making the stop there before the line of scrimmage.
And the first running play of the game, they come up with a negative 2 yards on that play. Great job by the Leo defense stuffing that run.
So a big stop by the Leopards puts Redlands at 2nd and long. This will be about 2nd and 13. Ball is at the 38-yard line. Good crowd here on hand at Ortmeyer Stadium. Despite the rain, despite the wet bleachers, a lot of fans looking to see the Leopards pick up their first SCIAC win. A lot of Redlands faithful hoping to see their Bulldogs improve to 2-0 in conference play. Strong handoff there. Go ahead, my partner.
And that goes for no yardage again in the outside zone. They're trying to get, probably my guess would, to set up some play action here as their passing game's trying to develop. But so far they've gone for -2 and 1 yard on back-to-back run plays.
Ball was handed off to Tony Williams, who had a big week last week, a breakout game. had 24 carries, 137 yards, and scored a touchdown, but Williams there just unable to pick up anything. 3rd down and 11, ball at the 37-yard line. Tremaine will pitch it just in front of him. That's right there to Williams. Redlands looks to be fighting for the 1st down on 3rd and long. It's a question of whether or not they got it.
Looks like they're going to come up about 2 yards short, but that shovel pass to the running back was a nifty little play, but he was stuffed in the backfield, but he broke about a half a dozen tackles to pick up about 8 yards or so.
Williams certainly a big body for the Bulldogs. Their best all-purpose guy. Taking the ball 3 consecutive times there. Now it's going to be 4th and 2. Tremaine and the offense will remain out there. Another shovel pass to Williams. This time he's going to be good enough for the 1st down and into the red zone. Tony Williams marching his way on forward, trying to get the Bulldogs on the board early.
I like the play call there. They tried running inside and outside zone for nothing, and then all of a sudden came back for speed option, trying to get out on the perimeter to their playmaker. You know, number 6 has been, Tony Williams has been a playmaker for them so far, all purpose, over 534 total yards, rushing, receiving, and kick returns. You get that ball to that man in space, and he's going to make somebody miss, and he did just that on that speed option play to the offense's left.
Redlands now within the red zone, 1st and 10 from Laverne's own 19. 7 minutes left in this 1st quarter. Tremaine drops back, looks to his right, deep toward the end zone, comes up a little short. Nice catch there by Redlands, and they're just a couple yards out of the end zone.
That ball was completed to number 23, Greg Paget. Moving the pocket, break and contain. He had a couple different options downfield. He took his middle read right there. He had something shallow, something middle, and something deep. And he took that middle throw, and ball ends up on the 4-yard line.
Paget made the first catch of the game. Tremaine able to connect with him again there. Just under 6.5. Ball is on the Laverne 3-yard line. Tremaine will give it to Williams. Williams right over the middle, diving over the line of scrimmage. Touchdown, Redlands.
And Redlands comes out in a huge, heavy formation. 3 running backs in the backfield, no wide receivers, extra linemen, tight ends, and they just said, we want to run downhill right now.
Tony Williams, straight dominance on that drive, diving over the Leopards for the first score of the game. This will be Vicente Garcia from Fontana out for the point after attempt. Kick is up and through the uprights. Good for Redlands. 6 minutes, 15 seconds remaining in the 1st quarter. Bulldogs score first. It's 7-0 from Ortmeyer Stadium. So Redlands, on their 2nd drive of the game, able to come out and score a touchdown. That was Tony Williams, a 3-yard rush over the Laverne defensive line. Picking up Williams' 2nd rushing touchdown in as many weeks. We're still in the 1st quarter here from Ortmeyer Stadium. Redlands an early 7-0 lead.
You know, Tyler Tremaine, the quarterback for Redlands, making 2 big throws in that drive to convert, get them downfield, and really push that ball, opening up those running calls for the middle of that drive.
Short kick there, and the Leopards trying to bring it back just behind the 20, not able to. That was for the Leopards. Noah Allen, freshman Allen from San Diego, California, just not able to get down the field very far. Redlands doing a great job, their special teams. Ball is spotted at Laverne's own 18-yard line. Nick Garcia, the transfer quarterback from Glendale Community College, will come out and try to connect for some points here on Laverne's 2nd drive. Redlands doing a good job converting first downs, 4 of them already within 2 drives. Laverne only able to get there 1 last time on 3rd and 9. Here's Garcia facing some pass rush from Redlands, looking downfield. That ball will be aired out into the Laverne sideline.
And they're moving that pocket to the left side of the quarterback, trying to open up some windows for him so he can see. Right now, Nick comes on into that game, and he's listed at 5'10", 175. So I think they're trying to open up some passing lanes for him so he can see downfield a little bit better. Unfortunately, though, for him, the Redlands defense cornered him in that pocket and had to come up and throw that ball out of bounds.
This Redlands defensive line, big and physical. Garcia certainly a tall task ahead of him, especially with the weather. Stopped for a minute. That ball nearly picked off in front of the Redlands sideline. Pass was intended for number 84, Jimmy Rumsey.
Corner makes a great play on that deep out, broke in on it. 3rd and 10 right now. Be interesting to see what Laverne does, whether they're going to try to push the ball downfield right now or call something conservative.
Third down and 10, ball still on Laverne's own 18-yard line. 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Garcia takes the snap and rolls left. He's got a man, but he's heavily defended. That pass was intended right there for Samson Olajide from Houston, Texas, but it's broken up, and it's a quick 3 and out for the Leopards.
And again, they're trying to get Nick Garcia out of the pocket, get him some vision downfield, but the corners are just locking down right now for Redlands and not giving us a lot of breathing room.
So the Leopards will be forced to punt. Second unsuccessful drive for them. We're still in the first quarter. Redlands ahead 7-0. Sean Garvey out to punt for Laverne. Short boot looks to be fielded just around midfield in front of the Redlands sideline. Ball was pushed out of bounds.
With that, Bulldogs are going to take possession down at about the 49-yard line.
1st and 10, sure enough, right at the 49-yard line. 5:46 remaining in the first quarter. Tyler Tremaine and the Bulldogs looking for another score here on their 3rd drive. It was Tony Williams, the running back, who did all the heavy lifting last drive.
Be interesting to see. They came out trying to throw the ball that first drive, first 2 drives, and dosing, throwing some little doses of running into that middle of that Leopard defense. See what they come out here this 3rd drive.
Redlands did a good job on all facets of the ball last weekend against Chapman. They're coming out looking to do the same against Laverne. Tremaine, if you remember, had that fumble on his first drive, recovered by the Leopards, but his defense came right back out onto the turf and picked him up. Tremaine quickly looking over the middle there. Pass was intended for number 3. Just dropped right there a little over the head of Evan Agwan.
And they're really trying to commit to throwing that ball between the hashes, trying to split those safeties, pick it on somebody that they've seen on film. Either that or they see a new face out there possibly, and they're trying to, again, establish something on a new player.
So Tremaine comes back out, will deliver the play to his teammates. Redlands looking for their 2nd score of the first quarter. 5 minutes, 42 seconds on the clock. 2nd and 10, ball at Laverne's 48-yard line. Ball is handed off to Williams, looking for an opening. The Leopards able to squander it there.
Again, that outside zone, Leopards have done pretty good on back-to-back outside zone running plays. Going to give us about 3rd and 8 right now to work with on defense. See what the Bulldogs dial up on offense.
Tremaine, the sophomore from Folsom, not afraid to throw the ball. We've seen him already air it out a couple times. He started this drive with a pass intended for Agwan. Looked like it was going to lead him down the field, but just passes outstretched hands. Here he's got a chance on 3rd and 8 from his own 49. Here's Tremaine over the middle again. Good ball, but just overthrowing Padgett.
And again, Redlands is really committing to trying to throw that ball deep over the middle of the field, trying to split the two safeties. We'll see how long the Leopard defense keeps that split safety look and whether or not they start to put somebody in that middle third.
Redlands will turn to Vicente Garcia once again, this time for a punt. Less than 5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. 7-0 Redlands leads over Laverne. You're watching Skyac football on LVTV3, Laverne Community Television. Redlands doing a great job of preventing a touchback right there. What a tremendous job by the Redlands special teams, who's come on out and played their best game of football so far already, and we're only in the first quarter. Bulldogs able to keep the Leopards behind their 5-yard line. It'll be a extremely tall task for Nick Garcia and his offense. Head coach Chris Creek certainly has his hands full here with his Leopards trying to get down the field just a little bit. So the Redlands Bulldogs firing on all cylinders. The Leopards looking to try and get things going for themselves. 4 minutes, 40 seconds in the first left to be played. Nick Garcia calls for the snap. It's a run play up the middle. Gain of a few yards there. Ball was handed off to number 26, Jonathan Burris. Freshman from Seattle, Washington. Graduated from Ingraham High School. Picked up a couple yards on that play. Ball is now down at the 10-yard line. 2nd and 6. It's another handoff to Burris. This time he'll go left, looking for another opening. Looks like it might have been enough to move the chains. Referees will see where the ball is down at.
Looks like he's going to be about 3 yards short. Nice nifty little jump cut there to his left before he started to pour it up vertical. Let's see what this Leopard offense dials up on 3rd and short.
So the Redlands Bulldogs able to prevent any gain there. 3rd and 6. Ball still down at the 10-yard line. Garcia has handed it off back-to-back times to Burris. Make it back-to-back-to-back, and this time, the 3rd time is the charm. Burris gets the first down. Laverne's 2nd of the ball game. They'll continue their drive from about the 20-yard line.
And great job by the Leopards to just commit to running downhill on 3rd and short. Looked like the Redlands defense was prepared for some sort of quick passing game, and we were able to pick up the first down.
Both teams came out unsuccessful on their first drives. Tyler Tremaine and Redlands able to find the promised land on their second. They lead 7-0 here from Ortmeyer Stadium. The freshman Burris from Seattle. 4 consecutive run plays.
That Bulldog defense led by number 44, Jacob Sega, number 9, Lawrence Williams, and then Scott Tinsley, number 8. They're coming in with lots of heat right now on this Leopard offense. Bodies are flying.
Burris is the Leopards' leading rusher. He's there next to Garcia again. This time, Garcia will look left for a pass play. He's got it to Jimmy Rumsey. Rumsey brought down, looks like maybe just short of the first down.
Great job. Great pitch and catch by the quarterback and receiver right there. Controlled passing game, trying to move the sticks forward. Coming up with the 3rd and inches right now. Pretty close to the conversion.
3rd and inches, ball at Laverne's 30-yard line. Garcia and the Leopards trying to keep this drive going and build on some momentum. Burris stop trying to spin through the line there. Redlands, another big stop. That one's for a loss. We'll see what Coach Creek and the Leopards do.
And at one point in time, it almost looked like we quite weren't ready on the right side of the line for that ball to be snapped. Whether this guy's moving a little early or not fast enough at the snap of the ball, we were trying to catch the Bulldog defense not being ready yet. But that vertical penetration by the D-line.
So it'll be Sean Garvey out for the boot. Redlands will field it behind midfield, and Laverne doing a good job getting to the punt returner early and bringing him down before the 50.
Great job. Take your shot on the punt returner. Stop vertical penetration right there, making sure that punt returner doesn't go north and south with the football. Made him go east and west, made a heck of a play.
So the Leopards offense just hasn't found their rhythm yet. Redlands looking to find it again. Unable to connect on their first drive. Tony Williams, a 3-yard touchdown rush on their second. Redlands has still been quiet since, but their defense and special teams has been lights out thus far. They've definitely preserved the lead up to this point. Just over 60 seconds left to play in the first quarter between Redlands and Laverne. Skyac Saturday afternoon football here from Ortmeyer Stadium. Clock still ticking. Less than 60 seconds. Tremaine trying to deliver the play to his offense. He's 4 for 8 so far for 81 yards. Sophomore quarterback from Folsom, California. Takes the snap, drops back. He's got an option to his right and connects. Laverne trying to provide the hit stick. It takes 3 different Leopards to bring down the Bulldogs receiver.
And sometimes it doesn't have to be pretty, it's just got to be effective. And we tried to lay a big old stick on him, needed to wrap up right there. First point of contact needs to come down with the ball carrier in his arms. Great pitch and catch by the Bulldog offense on that curl flat concept to the wide side of the field.
Seth Weller, the biggest target out there for Tyler Tremaine, making the catch. 6'4", 204. And you see he just bodied his way through the Laverne defense, took multiple defenders to bring him down. And we've got whistles on the play. And so the two teams will be sent to their sidelines. Looks like we've got a short delay of game because of the inclement weather here at Ortmeyer Stadium. We have the referees here discussing it at midfield. Both these squads coming over and will join their respective huddles. Inclement weather, including lightning, is in the vicinity of our facility. If this postponement remains true, the contest will be suspended until the weather no longer poses a danger to this area. The medical staff and game administration will be administering the NCAA lightning policy. If this game is to take a break, the competition would restart in approximately 30 minutes. Still awaiting official word that a delay would be happening. It looks like for now, though, we'll transition into the second quarter from Ortmeyer Stadium. You're watching Skyac football on Laverne Community Television, LVTV3. Tyler Tremaine and the Redlands Bulldogs trying to come out and keep their foot on the gas pedal, build on their 7-0 lead. It's a run play for the Bulldogs. This time it's not Tony Williams. Pickup of a few for Redlands. That was Khalil Olicia Aramboles.
And the Bulldog offense comes sprinting to the line of scrimmage for their first hurry-up tempo play of the game.
They get it off quick. Laverne a bit prepared for it, but Redlands able to pick up the first down on the play. Now we'll take some more time to reset the offense. 30 seconds in, and Redlands converting.
Now Redlands gets back into that prototypical offensive huddle there. Both offenses being patient today. I don't want to say taking their time, but definitely being patient. That's why that first quarter went by so fast, letting that clock run.
Olicia Aramboles out there for the carry again, but just being brought down. Good job by the Leopards to hit low and get him to the turf. Rain is continuing to fall here from Ortmeyer Stadium.
It is starting to pick up, isn't it, Nate?
Yep, just a little bit. It's supposed to get worse as the day comes along. The rain started about 12:15, and it's been kind of intermittent since, on and off, but since kickoff, it's had a steady presence here, just picked up and dropped off a little bit from time to time, but it's a steady presence nevertheless. 7-0 Redlands from Ortmeyer Stadium. Tremaine, 2nd down and 8 from the 27. Another run play up the middle. The Leopards will prevent the first down. Alicia Aramboles, a tongue twister if you try to say that 5 times fast. Another carry, not good enough for the first down. We're through about 2 minutes here in the second quarter.
And quite opposite how they started the game, committing to passing the football. They're now saying, let's go run the football down your throat. See if you can stop us, and let's see what the Leo defense dials up right now. They've been very competitive. They've been very opportunistic with turnovers this year, especially backed up in their own red zone.
Redlands has not been efficient on 3rd down, 0 for 2 so far today. This time Tremaine going for it near the end zone. Ball is nearly picked over the shoulder by the Leopards.
And Aiden Clinton, who already has a pick this year already from his Mike backer position, goes deep to prevent that touchdown. What a great play by number 43, also one of the leading tacklers here for the Leos.
Clinton had a big week last week. There he almost had a huge touchdown that would have swung the momentum back the Leopards' way. Instead, Bulldogs still a chance for some points here. Garcia out for the field goal attempt. Strong boot up through the uprights and good for Redlands. The Bulldogs able to still score on this drive to start the second quarter. They take a 10-0 lead over the Leopards as Laverne tries to get the offense going.
And I'll tell you what, Nate, that's a hard thing to do, is kick a wet ball in the rain. Not a lot of wind necessarily right now, but that ball sometimes can feel like a ton of bricks when you kick a wet ball in inclement weather like this. So it's going to be interesting to see as the game progresses how that might affect the kicking game, whether it be PATs, field goals, or just simple punts and kickoffs.
So after the ball was nearly picked in the end zone by Laverne, Redlands able to come away with a field goal. A 10-point lead here from Ortmeyer Stadium over the hometown Leopards. Redlands leading during Skyac football on LVTV3 Laverne Community Television. Leopards out to receive the punt. Noah Allen, the freshman kick returner, out there for the Leopards. This will be Sergi Rodas Mendoza providing the boot for Redlands. Sure enough, it is Allen from San Diego making the catch. He'll come back along in front of the Laverne sideline and be tackled out of bounds there around the 20.
And number 4, Noah Allen, is listed at 5'6", 143. And that scat back there sometimes can be hard to see him back there amongst the 23 other bodies running, or 21 other bodies running around out there. But he's doing a heck of a job on his kick returning duties.
Allen has been designated to return most of these punts for head coach Chris Creek. Leopards taking over, ball at the 25-yard line, 1st and 10. For the Leopards, Nick Garcia, a run play. Prevented quick by the Redlands D-line.
22 in the middle of the Leopards. No gain.
Yeah, that leverage pressure coming on over here from the right side of the defense really had nowhere to run for the Leopards on that play.
Leopards have only converted 2 first downs in this game so far. This is 2nd and 10. No gain on that last rush. Ball was carried by Mason Uribe. Here's Garcia again, pressured in the pocket and will be sacked by Redlands. Bulldogs excited about that one. Garcia took a huge hit.
Big number 75, Ruben Avila, just came in like a freight train, didn't hit pause at all, and unloaded on Nick Garcia in the backfield.
Redlands defense.
Face mask number 9, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
And the Leopards are going to get a get out of jail for free card on this one with the face mask penalty.
Yeah, it looked like Leopards were going to suffer a big loss on that sack to Garcia. Instead, the face mask penalty on Lawrence Williams will give Laverne 15 yards and a first down with the ball on their own 40.
And that changes play calling significantly, Nate. When you cannot be backed up in your back of the end zone, give you a little bit of breathing room on this first down.
Garcia looking to drop off a pass quickly just in front of the Laverne sideline. He connects. It'll take a trio of Redlands Bulldogs to make the tackle. But Garcia, quick pass, and things are rolling for Laverne.
I love that call on first down. Nice control, quick passing game, forward progress. Picks up 7 yards on first down for the Leos. Continuing to just run some clock off, be patient, see what works.
Scoreboard's got us at 2nd and 3, ball on the 47-yard line. Garcia looking to get comfortable. Rain has stopped intermittently. The snap, and it's a run play. Leopards look like they should be getting the first down. That is good enough to move the chains.
And mixing it up a little bit here again, John Burris gets in there, and next thing you know, picking up that first down. And it looks like we're going to end up, somebody's going to burn a timeout here. Looks like Redlands going to burn a timeout here. They had 12 guys on the field. They're trying to sprint somebody off the field here at the last second. Good job by the Leos to see that. They were trying to hurry up and tempo this, see if they could get the Bulldogs with 12 guys out on the field and get another penalty here, but they forced the Bulldogs to take a timeout instead.
So Laverne's got the ball rolling. It's the second quarter here from Ortmeyer Stadium. Redlands leads 10-0 over the University of Laverne. Just over 10 minutes to play until we get to halftime on a rainy Saturday afternoon in Southern California.
And my mistake, that running back that converted on first down was Mason Uribe.
Uribe been an integral part of this drive here. Burris, we saw last drive, have 4 consecutive run plays. Now it's Uribe out there trying to get it done for the Leopards, the freshman from Renton. Garcia facing some pressure. That's going to be another face mask penalty. You can see it from right here.
And Nick Garcia is trying to run around back there for his life. And again, like you said, got all 5 fingers right there stuck in the face mask as the defensive lineman tried bringing him on down. That's going to be an automatic first down.
Second face mask penalty against Redlands this drive. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's another 15 yards, right, partner?
Yes, sir. That's going to be 30 yards in face mask penalties just on this drive.
A couple of big breaks for Laverne. Just over 10 minutes still from halftime, and just like that, the rain has picked right back up.
Looks like we're probably going to be dealing with this off and on pretty much all afternoon here, Nate.
An uncontrollable variable for sure. Garcia hands it off to Uribe again, who's got a hot foot, 2 hot feet, and will take the tackle just in front of the 25. But a big run for Uribe, a few big runs for the freshman running back, marching on toward the red zone.
And this is awesome for Uribe to get up in there. I know he suffered a big-time injury just recently, about a year ago, coming on back from injury, and he's starting to feel his groove right now.
Leopards as a whole starting to feel the offensive groove. Just under 9.5 before the half. Another run play up the middle. Gain of maybe a couple yards, but Redlands able to make the tackle early.
But not before the Leopards could pick up a first down.
So that will move the chains and put Laverne inside the 20-yard line.
And what we're seeing on this drive, Nate, is the Leopard offense just coming on out in some controlled passing game, but then really committing to this run.
First time Laverne has been inside the red zone so far this afternoon. Garcia hands it to Burris this time, back onto the turf, and the Leopards will try to push him forward a couple more feet, but it'll be a gain of a few yards nevertheless for John Burris.
And again, they're just running right into the teeth of this defense. It's been maybe what's been holding the offense back is that violent pass rush of the Bulldogs. And my guess is they're trying to slow this pass rush down by running straight at them.
The Redlands defense has been stellar up to this point. Laverne starting to find some holes though. Mason Uribe, another run play, brought down after a gain of maybe 1.
Love the physicality of both teams right now, both offensively and defensively. Laverne coming on out and really trying to work a gap scheme and kick out a defensive lineman and running inside.
Laverne could really use a score on this drive. Within the red zone, 3rd and about 6 or so. Tough to see the scoreboard, but looking at the chains, Garcia trying to find an opening to his left. He's connected with Uribe. Touchdown, Leopards!
There we go, and on 3rd and about 1.5, the best play of the game right now was Nick Garcia on a scramble to Uribe actually finding a little wiggle room, but he was covered like a blanket. That defender had great coverage, and it turned into almost a back shoulder throw, and both those guys improvised on the run for a TD for the Leopards.
Great job of thinking on his feet. Nick Garcia, the Glendale Community College transfer student, connecting with the freshman running back, Mason Uribe, a big part of that drive for the first Leopards points of the afternoon. Point after attempt is up and through the uprights for the Leopards. Max Jimenez with the extra point, and it's 10-7 from Ortmeyer Stadium. Redlands still leads by 3.
What a great drive by the Leopards to just really methodically move that ball down the field, take what the defense gave them. Sometimes, again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just got to be effective, and they just took inch by inch, getting all the way down the field.
The Redlands defense started out this game extremely hot, firing on all cylinders. Laverne there able to find a few holes in the defensive line and make things happen. Now the Bulldogs scrambling to make sure they get everybody out onto the turf before the Leopards get their play off, but they were running a little bit behind too. 7:45 before the half. Leopards, a touchdown pass from Garcia to Uribe, putting them right back in the game.
And for the second conference game of the season, that's what you're looking for from the Leopards after what I'm sure they were very disappointed with the showing last week at Pomona-Pitzer, coming on out and being competitive, establishing some physicality on both sides of the football. I know Laverne's really trying to make sure that they keep this game within one shot.
A big part of keeping the game like that is avoiding the flag. Redlands able to keep the ball alive there. Tony Williams on the kick return, bringing it just in front of the 40-yard line. A great job by the Bulldogs all-purpose man.
And you can see why they depend on him so much. He's returning kicks. He's rushing the football. They're throwing him the football. He's kind of the trifecta back there for Redlands.
Williams, 5'10", 201 from Indio, California. Graduated from Shadow Hills High School. Hoping to be a big part of Redlands' drive here, trying to add another score to their 10-7 lead. 7.5 left to play before halftime. Tyler Tremaine, the sophomore quarterback for Redlands, will fake the handoff and keep it himself. He saw an opening on the left and is brought down just about the 50.
Bulldogs taking up to about the 48. Looks like they're going to be 2 or 3 shy.
Pickup of about 7 or 8 for Tremaine. The Bulldogs will have 2nd and 3 from the 48-yard line.
And that's why special teams are so special. You start here now with the football closer to midfield, have a lot less real estate that you need to cover offensively before you can try to get yourself at least into field goal range, if not a shot for a tud.
Tremaine on the afternoon is 5 for 10 for 97 yards. Here he drops back to his right, looking deep down the field. He'll fire a laser just in front of the Redlands bench.
Looks like it's going to come up third down and incomplete. Delonte Moore, number 17 for the Leopards, was barreling down on the quarterback. He's been really active so far this year. He's come up, he's been very opportunistic. Interception for a touchdown last week or 2 weeks ago, and again opened up the season with another big interception, a couple sacks on the season, racking up a bunch of tackles. He's very active in that flex position for the Leopards.
Moore is one of the captains of this Leopards team, making his presence felt here in the second quarter. Tremaine, a handoff to Williams. The Leopards doing a great job of bringing down the big man. And just like that, it's fourth down.
Looks like 4th and 2 right now. Leopards did a great job of building that wall inside the tackles, forcing now a big-time decision by the offensive coordinator and head coach for the Bulldogs.
Big-time moment for the Leopards defense as well. A stop here gives Laverne a great chance to tie this game or even take the lead. And if you recall, Redlands won the coin toss, elected to receive to start this game. Clock looks to work in Laverne's favor. If they can get a score, they'll get the ball back to start the second half. Tremaine will keep it himself and try to rush for the first down. Laverne looked to meet him at the marker. We'll see what happens.
And we've seen that play already once before. The last time they were in crunch time, they came up with speed option and picked up a first down. They went speed option again on that play. And we're going to see whether or not
looks like the chains will move.
Yep, looks like they did pick it up in fact. So 2 crucial first down conversions, both on the same play in 2 different drives. That speed option's working for the Bulldogs pretty well.
2 for 2 running that one now. We'll see at a crucial moment later if Redlands goes back to it. Tremaine opting to keep it, but this time it's Jordan Ford coming in replacement of the sophomore Tremaine. The fellow sophomore Ford keeps it himself and is brought down just about midfield.
I thought there was one less number 1 on the jersey there in the backfield on that play.
Yep. Not sure what had happened to Tremaine, if
might have been a helmet or
right,
some kind of equipment malfunction, and he's back out there.
So Redlands able to keep their drive going less than 5 minutes before the half. Jordan Love comes on for a play, keeps it himself, then gives the ball right back to Tremaine, who, if you remember, threw 4 touchdowns last week against Chapman in Redlands' win. Tremaine able to break a tackle there, stays on his feet, and the ball is marked down after Redlands looks to pick up the first down.
We're seeing both quarterbacks for both offenses have some pretty nifty plays in their back pocket when they get in some trouble being able to run around out there.
Redlands might have came up just short, 3rd and 1 with the ball on the 40-yard line. Leopards defense would love to come away with at most a Redlands field goal. Trying to keep this a 1-score game as we head into the halftime intermission. Tremaine, a handoff to Williams. Williams breaks 1 tackle, breaks 2, but takes a spill after a gain of a few.
I don't know about you, Nate, but it looked like he was down for a TFL there on the right side of the offense, but he just bounced off about 2 would-be tacklers and stuck his right foot in the ground, picked up a few more yards to convert on 3rd down to give them another first down here.
Leopards really struggling to wrap around Williams and bring him down. Williams, good size running back, 5'10", 201, certainly strong in that lower half, just muscling through the Leopards when he needs to. Saw him dive over the defensive line for a touchdown to start the scoring today. A dot right there from Tremaine to his receiver. It looks like we're going to have an injury on the field to number 83, Caleb Hatton.
And at first there, Nate, when you said 5'10" to 6 foot 201, I thought you were describing me, except for you said he was put together pretty good. So then I realized you weren't describing me at all.
Come on, Caesar. Caleb Hatton struggling to move that left ankle down on the field, being tended to by the Redlands trainers. Not sure if you saw there for a minute, but he was really keeping that leg rigid. And we're experiencing an injury timeout here from Ortmeyer Stadium. Good crowd on hand despite the cold weather. Lots of umbrellas. As you can see there, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 real quickly. All right, that's okay. Rain has stopped for the meantime. 3 minutes and 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Redlands Bulldogs 10, Laverne Leopards 7, as we look to resume the action.
We'll hope that number 83 has nothing more than a cramp on that play.
Caleb Hatton, the senior, 6'3", 195, made the catch and then needed to be helped off the field momentarily. Second and short for the Bulldogs. Tremaine trying to pick up another first down on this drive. It would be the third. It looks like he's going to have the first down and more. 6 more points, as a matter of fact. It's a touchdown, Redlands.
Now that receiver came clear across from the wide side of the field all the way back to the boundary. He bent that across either the DB or linebacker's face, hit him in stride, and there was really nothing that the Leopard defense could do at that point because it was nothing but pay dirt in front of him.
Tremaine doing a great job keeping his hands on top of the ball, firing darts to his receivers on this drive. Tony Williams setting the table, and Redlands able to score another touchdown. Strong boot on the point after is good for another. 17-7, Redlands leads here from Ortmeyer Stadium, and the Redlands faithful, a lot to be happy about on this Saturday afternoon.
Well, let's see what the Leopard offense does to respond right before half. It's 2:32 left. They're going to get the football back, Nate. And I know they want to put a drive together, use up all the time, not give the ball back to the Bulldog offense. So, you know, they're not quite in 2-minute mode yet, but they're probably about 45 seconds away from that.
Leopards were able to score a touchdown on their last drive, but that was also helped out with a couple of face mask penalties that advanced Laverne 30 yards on their entire drive. They trail by 10. It's a 2-score game, 17-7 here from Ortmeyer Stadium. Noah Allen, the freshman from San Diego, has fielded every kick return so far. He won't field this one. This time it's Jimmy Rumsey looking for space in front of the Laverne sideline. A good return there, inching closer toward the 40 before he's brought down.
And 84, Jimmy Rumsey, you know, he's turning into being quite a special little player for the Leopards, both as a receiver and now showing off his kick return skills. You know, the bright spot about this ULV football program right now in talking to the coaches but also to the players is there's a lot of excitement about some continuity. There's been a lot of turnover, and recently they've been able to really start to give the program some continuity, adding John Roberts, getting Coach Martinez back for another year, Coach Adams back for another year, adding an old head coach like Coach Cushman to the group.
Garcia looking for a target in front of the Redlands sideline. Looks like he's got it. Gain of about 6 on the pass. Not good enough for the first down. Caesar?
No, just making that observation right now. I got a lot of young players that played last year, a lot of young players that are playing this year. They're able to keep all these guys out there in the program and coming back year after year, developing them. They're doing a great job right now of getting the buy-in.
Trying to build some cohesiveness, and results aren't always immediate. There's a process to everything. Laverne still trying to put their best foot forward while doing a little bit of rebuilding and getting these young guys acquainted with each other, building that cohesiveness, building that team chemistry. Trying to march on toward the promised land. Garcia. Drops back, looks right. Pump fakes and is able to connect with Rumsey. Rumsey, a little bit of space to step out of bounds. That'll be another first down for the Leopards.
And there, as you see it, you've got a new quarterback just starting to settle in. You got a freshman receiver starting to settle in, making plays, and they're moving the sticks right now. That chemistry is starting to pick up a little bit better every single week, and what you're seeing right now, kind of every drive.
Garcia now 67% on 6 for 9. Rumsey, his primary target, 3 catches for 27 yards. Garcia some time here, able to move around. Will slide left, look for a pass in front of the Redlands sideline, but whether he made that catch,
they're going to say he's out of bounds,
was the question, and sure enough, it looked like he came down with it, but with his joints out of bounds.
Looks like that's going to put us in a 2nd and long right here, Nate. Still have about 1:10 left on the clock. Not in completely panic mode right now, but got to pick up a nice chunk of change on the next 2 plays.
2nd and 10, ball from Redlands 39, another pass play. Garcia able to move around, slide left, look again in front of the Redlands sideline. That one will dot the Redlands photographer.
And Nick Garcia saw Rumsey again on the sideline, but just couldn't flip his hips well enough over to put that ball and drop it in between the 8 and the 4 on the sideline in his lap. But it does stop the clock down to 1:02 on 3rd and long.
Hope he got a good shot of that.
Almost took out the camera guy, huh?
Yep, hit him right in his camera. That's why I was wondering. Hope he got a good shot of it. 1 minute and 2 seconds, 3rd and 10, ball from the Redlands 39-yard line. Big play here for Garcia and the Leopards. Garcia able to move. He's going to have to get rid of it. Looking for a deep pass near the end zone. Incomplete. Pass was intended for number 10.
It's going to bring up 4th and long, and didn't need necessarily the Hail Mary on that play, but it kind of looked like that's what he was doing when he was running around, scrambling around, turned into a scramble drill. Had a jump ball up here in the end zone, and the DB did a great job of knocking the ball down on 3rd down.
Mentioned it was number 10. Excuse me and forgive me. Number 19, freshman wide receiver Braden Varney going up for it. Just unable to come down with it. As Caesar mentioned, terrific job by the Redlands defensive back, able to get a hand in there. Forcing Laverne to punt with less than 60 seconds in the half, and it'll be out of bounds.
And I'm not sure if I'm reading that right, but I've seen him walking around campus at 6'4", 190. He is all of that. He's a pretty looking dude. And if they can get him and some of our other guys going on over there, they've got something uniquely special.
Varney certainly had the size on the Redlands defensive back. Just a great athletic play all around from the 2 competitors. Garcia was looking for a last chance pass there into the end zone, hoping for something to come down, but it was incomplete. 17-7, Redlands leads by 10, 44 seconds before halftime.
And we'll probably see the 2-minute definitely right now. We're pretty close to midfield. Ball's past the 30-yard line.
Tremaine looks right, then commits left. Passes incomplete and dropped, intended for number 19. That was Markel Raymond.
And the Redlands offense still has 2 timeouts to burn here. I know their head coach is also their offensive coordinator, play caller, so he's going to be in control of this. But this thing's going to move pretty quickly here with only 41 seconds left.
Jim Good at the helm of the Redlands Bulldogs since the start of the 2021 season, handling all the play calling for these Bulldogs. Looking to get Tremaine and his offense another score. 40 seconds on the clock. Tremaine looking to make it happen downfield. He throws a long bomb. Too long, again intended for Raymond.
And that'll stop the clock again at 34 seconds. Again, they all have 2 more timeouts, so they're going to try to probably convert at least so they get another set or get a little closer to the end zone so they can try to take a shot to the end zone before halftime.
We've seen Tremaine air it out a little bit, unafraid to throw the ball.
I wouldn't be surprised to see them try to slide something between the hashes again right down the middle of the field as they did earlier. They still have a timeout to burn and or spike it and clock it. Clock will stop off the first down anyway.
Tremaine takes the snap and drops back. He's got some room. Heaves it down the field again. Overthrowing Raymond.
Great job by the secondary, staying deep, not letting anybody get behind him. There was no real options out there for Redlands downfield.
Tremaine was trying to make it happen all in one play. Unsuccessful, and it's a 3-and-out for Redlands. They'll punt it. We'll see what, if anything, Laverne can do on the punt return. 26 seconds on the clock.
That's an interesting series of play calls right now for the Bulldog offense. They took 2 really big shots after their first down screen attempt. Had enough timeouts and plenty of room.
A high boot behind midfield in Laverne territory. It's a fair catch. Caught about the 30-yard line. PA announcer marks it at the 28. So Laverne will take over with 20 seconds left. Enough time for, a play or two, trying to make something happen.
Yeah, they've got all 3 timeouts. They're not going to have an opportunity to probably use them, is my guess, with only 20 seconds left in the half. We'll see if they take a shot downfield, pick up something, see if they can get a PI penalty maybe downfield. If not, they might just kneel on the ball and take it into halftime, and that's actually what it looks like what they're about to do.
And so Garcia will take the knee. Clock will go ahead and count down to the halftime intermission. You've been watching SCIAC football on LVTV3. Caesar, what'd you see in that first half?
Well, I just saw both teams trying to establish the run game. A little bit later for Redlands than Laverne, but when it all comes down to push comes to shove, you got to win championships running the football. You got to score points throwing the ball, but definitely have to run the ball to win championships. And both those teams try to establish a level of physicality, whether it's the weather or just the second conference game of the season. I like seeing both defenses really come up big in crucial situations, but Redlands got the best of the Leopards in the first half, going into halftime 17-7, but did see some positive things coming out of the Leopards, especially on offense here this last 2 series.
Running game particularly equivalent so far. Redlands 17 rush attempts, Laverne 18. The Bulldogs 59 rushing yards to Laverne's 58. It's the passing game where Redlands has taken advantage of these Leopards. A total of 130 passing yards for the Bulldogs, just 52 for the Leopards. 17-7, Redlands leads over the University of Laverne. You're watching SCIAC football on LVTV3, Laverne Community Television. We'll be back with the second half of football in just a bit.
Where every kid got a chance to be great. The Hershey's believe learning shouldn't have a price. Everything we need is taken care of. Our classrooms, they have no walls. We learn by doing through programs that give us an early start on college and our careers. Here, we have the chance to be great. And you can be next.
Meet the scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you!
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Welcome back to Ortmeyer Stadium from the University of Laverne. I'm Nate Rodriguez alongside Cesar Rivas, bringing to you today's Saturday afternoon SCIAC football action between the University of Laverne Leopards and the visiting University of Redlands Bulldogs. The Redlands Bulldogs lead 17-7 after a first quarter touchdown run from Tony Williams Jr. They built on that with a field goal from Vicente Garcia Laverne got on the board in the second quarter with a touchdown pass from Nick Garcia to Mason Uribe. But then Tyler Tremaine found Logan Sperling for another touchdown pass for Redlands. Garcia's point after was good, and we're at 17-7 here to begin the third quarter.
And they just got off a booming kick. The University of Redlands back through the back of the end zone. The wind's starting to pick up a little, and that thing went sailing out the back of the uprights.
Rain has stopped here from Ortmeyer Stadium, but it is still a chilly, breezy Saturday afternoon. Redlands won the coin toss to begin the ball game. They elected to receive, so Laverne begins with the pigskin here in the third quarter. First play is a run right up the middle, and Laverne gets stuffed. Redlands defense out to another hot start coming right out the gate.
That inside zone right there is going to work unless you're just completely outnumbered in the box. And Redlands brought the heat on first down and just brought more bodies than the University of Laverne could block on that given play. So we're going to go to second down and 10 right now, looking forward.
There you got to look at all the halftime stats. The running game pretty equivalent in the first half, but Redlands passing game, Tyler Tremaine just completely outdoing Nick Garcia. These two offenses a bit different in that respect. Garcia looking for a quick pass play here. He connects with Jimmy Rumsey for a gain. Third down.
And that seems to be Nick Garcia's go-to guy right now when he wants a little bit of confidence or he needs to move the sticks a little bit. That 84 he's gotten his number called more often than not.
Garcia's been able to dump off quick passes to Rumsey in the second quarter and now to begin the third. Rumsey 4 catches, 32 yards, averaging 8 yards a catch. Garcia now 7 for 13 on the day. He's looking long in front of the Redlands sideline. Rumsey gets his hands up and brings it down for the catch around the 40.
Well, I'll tell you what, Nate, right now the side judge just finished saying that that's an incomplete pass. Ooh. They're saying that he somehow dropped the ball or the ball hit the ground before he could secure it. So unfortunately for the Leopards, that's going to be an incomplete pass.
Good spot by you.
Fourth down is on its way.
I saw Rumsey go up, get both his hands on it. Looked like he came down with it, but perhaps when he made contact with the ground right here, you see him lose it for a quick second between the legs. And
that's what we call climbing the ladder. He did an amazing job of getting up. Loose ball.
Ball is mishandled near the 30-yard line in Redlands territory, but the Bulldogs still able to recover it. A tough break for the Leopards. Looked like they might have had a first down on that connection from Garcia to Rumsey, but just a little bit of slip out of the hands at the last second when he made contact with the ground, and Redlands will start their first drive of the second half.
Well, we've got an injured Leopard out on the field right now, pretty close to the logo.
We only had 1 or 2 injury timeouts in the first half. Yeah, like you were saying, hopefully this is nothing too serious.
Absolutely. Heart always goes out to the guys that they work so hard all week long, and they come out on both sides, both the visiting and the home team, healthy when this game's over.
So it looks like they'll help him up, walk off the field under his own strength. That looks to be
Enrique Yabnez.
Ibanez from Ontario, California, went to Ayala High School, walking off on his own strength, so it looks like he should be okay. Meanwhile, for Redlands, they'll take over the ball on their own 30-yard line, 1st and 10, just under 13 and a half in the third quarter. Tremaine, his first drive here in the second half, looking to get things going, started it out with a run play to Tony Williams. Williams brought down out of bounds on the Redlands sideline.
And it looks like Aiden Clinton really strung that play along, number 43 for the Leopards, but he took out a couple chain crew guys on his way to the sideline and making that play. That outside zone has been handled pretty well, minus maybe 1 or 2 clips all afternoon by the Leopards. They've been able to stymie that outside zone running play. So it's going to turn out to be 2nd and long right now for the Bulldogs.
Williams, the leading rusher so far, at least by carries. That was his 8th of the game. Tremaine opting to keep with it, trying to find an opening on the left. Gain of maybe a couple on that play.
And that zone read option play, that quarterback has the opportunity to either give it or keep it. And there was just about a half a dozen guys in green that looked like they had locked in on number 6. So that's why the quarterback kept it. And he made a couple nifty moves out there on the perimeter to pick up any amount of positive yards. It looks like he picked up about 4 on that play. That was a nifty move by him, but that defense was really flying around on that play.
Back-to-back plays with Leopards down on the turf. Trying to get a better look at who that is. Tough start to the second half for the Leopards. A quick 3 and out, and now Redlands trying to convert on 3rd down here, keep their drive going, and a couple of injury timeouts for Laverne. Tyler Tremaine, the sophomore quarterback from Folsom, California, has completed 7 passes on 16 attempts. Good for just short of 44%. He's thrown 1 touchdown on 130 yards. Tony Williams has picked up the other score for Redlands, a 3-yard touchdown rush, in which he displayed that athleticism, leaping over the Leopards' defensive line. So far, Caesar, we're only a few minutes into the second half, but really, what's been the trend in this game? What have you seen?
Well, the back and forth chess game right now between running the ball and throwing the ball deep for Redlands. They're trying to give a little bit of balance to that offense between starting the game really on a high note, throwing the pill, and then coming on back and really trying to pound the rock, trying to keep the Leopard defense on its heels and taking control of that. You know, the opportunities that the Leopards have created this year so far have been very much created on defense with creating turnovers. That's been how they've been able to keep themselves in some ball games.
Tremaine looking to dart one.
There it is.
Picked off by the Leopards. Tyler Tremaine got a bit too excited. The Leopards right there to pick it off.
And there we go. Took the words right out of my mouth, being very opportunistic. And Joseph Tenna, number 21, comes up with the big play. You know, that they're playing that double flex right now, which is really unique. Not very many teams in the country playing this double eagle flex. And when they drop that flex, he has the opportunity. He's basically a stand-up 3 technique that can drop. And he gets himself in that passing window. They were trying to pick on that skinny seam, and he makes a big play for the Leopards.
So for those at home, what did Yana see on that play in particular?
Oh, he just read the quarterback's front shoulder, thought he might go be – he was probably trying to hit that seam ball but to the number 2 receiver. And he just read that quarterback's front shoulder, took that front hand off the ball. He broke on what we call intentions there and slid himself right in that window.
Great play by number 21, Joseph Tenna, his first interception of the season. Big play for the Leopards, getting them the ball back. Under 11 and a half now in the 3rd quarter.
And that right here has been kind of the story of the season for the Leopards, putting themselves in some great field position off of creating some turnovers on defense.
Garcia in great field position, looking deep toward the end zone. He's got a guy, but the ball is dropped. Leopards had a score right in the hands of Samson Olajide, but Olajide just couldn't come down with it. Great looking pass from Nick Garcia. No points.
And that's what Nick Garcia does best, is where he's just kind of that gunslinger that's improvising on the run. He probably causes Coach Martinez and Coach Roberts some fits back there coaching him, because, you know, sometimes he's probably following script and sometimes he's ad-libbing. And that moment right there, he was ad-libbing and almost got themselves a touchdown on that play.
Garcia certainly thinking on his own 2 feet out there, trying to control the Leopards offense in real time. There he connects with Rumsey. Rumsey, a great job of making a play after the catch, picking up a few extra yards, and the Leopards in great position right here.
And if you can't tell what the number of the jersey is that Nick Garcia is his favorite receiver so far today, it's number 84, fans.
Garcia to the freshman Rumsey. That's been the trend the last couple games. Rumsey, some great hands, great athleticism, certainly a lot of speed. We'll see what the Leopards can do right here. Inside the red zone. First down from just around the 19. Pump fake by Garcia. He takes it himself. Finds a little bit of an opening, changing directions, and brought down near the 10.
Garcia wanted to go to his right with the quick game, something he didn't like, and so he just tucked it and ran. And for him, picks up about 4 yards on first down, makes it to second and manageable.
Garcia punches it up the middle for about a gain of 5.
Getting another
Second down, Laverne.
look perhaps right here at that play from Garcia. You see him change directions. Good for another 2 yards right there. Smart, quick play. 9:50 on the clock here from Ortmeyer Stadium. Redlands 17, Laverne 7, knocking on the door for some more right here. It's a handoff play. They get inside the 10. Carried by Trayvon Davies, the junior from San Diego.
And coming into the game, Trayvon Davies had quite a few attempts, had 12 attempts for 32 yards. He took the brunt of the load last week in the Pomona game. He's a big physical back, number 5, running downhill.
Davies had 10 carries last week against Pomona Pitzer. Leopards really struggled to get the run game going, though, in general against the Sage Hens. They give it to Davies again, and Davies gets absolutely lit up. 3 Redlands Bulldogs from the defensive line smother Davies as he tries to go right. You can see Garcia motioning toward him, take it right up the middle. He had an opening, just didn't see it for himself.
Right. He bounced it, and you can see that Garcia is telling him, hey, go inside, hit it downhill right now. And a little communication between the quarterback and his running back, and you like to see that. This is where you're going to start to see some growth with the offense right now, and guys taking ownership of what they should and shouldn't be doing, and coaching each other out there, and being really inclusive of the unit. Love seeing that, and even though it was a negative play, they have 4th down and manageable. It's 4th and 3 right now, and let's see what the offense dials on up.
Coach Chris Creek sending out Julian Martinez, the tight end, to try and get Garcia another receiver out there, but it'll be a timeout charge to Laverne, struggling to get the offense aligned in time to get the play off. 8 minutes, 28 seconds on the clock. Laverne trying to make something happen on 4th down right here, trailing by 10. Redlands 17, Leopards 7.
Now, Nate, I want your best armchair quarterback.
Oh, great.
Okay?
Here we go.
Yep, yeah, because I love hearing about what people would do. It's 4th down and 3. Ball's obviously inside the red zone, field goal range. What do? It's the 3rd quarter. You're down 17-7. You're down 10 points. 8:28 left to go in the 3rd quarter. You kick a field goal, or you go for it on 4th down right here.
Laverne's not a terrible 4th down team, but armchair quarterback, you're asking me, I kicked the field goal. But that's not why I'm out there. That's why they are. They look like they're not kicking the
That's
field
why
goal.
Coach Creek gets paid the big bucks.
Yep. And I'm sitting here just calling the game. 8 minutes, 28 seconds. Nick Garcia trying to make it happen right here. He fakes the handoff, rolls right, looking for a man.
And they're giving it incomplete signal.
Incomplete, yep. Picked it on the short hop, but not in the air. Nick Garcia and the Leopards unable to get it done. They march all the way down the field inside the red zone, but come up just short.
You know, I come away with that. You asked me earlier, my takeaways. Right now on that drive, what I noticed was that they were moving the ball without the penalties. And even that play right there was there. Maybe not executed correctly, or at the very end, the pass came up incomplete, but he was open. The play was there. You're starting to see some growth out of the Leopard offense, moving the ball down the field on their own without any help by the Bulldog defense.
Tremaine hands the ball off here on their first play, getting it back from about the 10-yard line, and just like that, Redlands right out of the gate, nearly picking up a first down.
Number 6 punches it up the middle for the Bulldogs.
Gain of about
About a gain of 6.
6 yards, according to the PA announcer here at Ortmeyer Stadium. I thought it was closer to about 8. 2nd down and 3 with the ball on the 17-yard line. During Laverne's scoring drive earlier, as Caesar mentioned, Redlands had helped the Leopards out with a couple of face mask penalties. 30 yards worth of penalties as Tony Williams able to find an opening and more there, marching his way all the way down toward the 40.
And I spoke too soon. That was the outside zone running play that the Leopards have been stuffing up pretty good all afternoon, but he was able to get the corner. Whether or not that was a holdout there, as the defensive lineman was asking for, with his hands up in the air, doesn't really matter. The flag wasn't thrown, and the Bulldogs got around the edge and picked up some great yardage.
Big play there by Tony Williams, letting Delonte Moore have some of it near the end. The two jarring at each other. Saw Moore come off the field a couple of drives ago with a little bit of an injury. Tremaine, a line drive pass over there to his receiver that is caught by Caleb Hatton.
Great pitch and catch by the offense. Even better wrap up and tackling by the defense. You love seeing that, where you got first guy there securing the tackle and a few more of his buddies going on over for the Leopards, securing and driving him backwards. But forward progress, so the Bulldogs will pick up about 5 on the play.
2nd down and 5. Ball is spotted at Redlands' own 46. No score for either team here in the second half. 17-7 overall from Ortmeyer Stadium. Tyler Tremaine to Tony Williams, right up the middle, gain of a couple.
An inside zone running downhill, like I said earlier. Now it's Redlands' turn to run into the teeth of the defense. The Leopards have been doing a pretty good job stymieing that inside zone running play all afternoon, but right now on back-to-back series right here, that outside zone and inside zone is paying dividends for the Bulldog offense.
T.C. Williams, the senior running back, coming onto the turf in place of Tony Williams. Tremaine rolling right, looking for someone deep near the sideline. Pass is broken up by the Leopards. Great job defensively by the green and orange. Trying to see from our vantage point, couldn't get the number on who that was, but a great defensive effort there by the Leopards.
Yeah, out of the corner of our eye over there, over the crest line of the helmets from Redlands, you could see the DB running in and playing the hands and tipping that ball right at the last second. What a great job by the defender to stop the touchdown.
5 minutes, 33 seconds on the clock here in the third quarter from Ortmeyer Stadium. Redlands Bulldogs 17, Laverne Leopards 7. Both teams looking for their first score here in the second half. Tremaine takes the handoff, a play action pass, and he connects on the right side. Good quick pass over there to number 81, caught by Seth Weller. The sophomore pulls it down, and it's a first down for the Bulldogs.
Those inside windows sometimes are real tough to cover because you know they've gashed them a couple times with the run, so those linebackers are playing real tight into their fits. And they come back and sling a quick game right in those windows where those linebackers normally would be dropping, but because they're playing that run so hard right now, it's opening some of those intermediate windows.
Redlands trying to find their rhythm right here, marching their way into Laverne territory. Williams, Tony back on the field. He's able to break a tackle and break two. A couple of more Leopards try to bring them down, and they do in front of their own sideline, but there is a flag on the play.
Yep, that outside zone running play hit, but it might have been because there was some holding interiorly by the O-lineman.
We await. Looks like we might have lost the White Hats microphone here at Ortmeyer Stadium. Penalty against Redlands, though, will benefit the Leopards. Under 5 minutes left in the third quarter now.
And it's going to mark them back, give them 1st and 20 now.
So a 10-yard penalty against the Bulldogs puts the ball down about their 38-yard line. Laverne's 38-yard line, excuse me. 1st and 20. Tremaine looking over the middle, airing it out toward the end zone, but overthrown once again.
And they keep coming back to that long seam vertical ball. Right up the hash, right up that far hash, trying to split, get inside that safety and behind the linebacker. And there was just a little bit too much air under that ball, threw it out of the back of the end zone. But they're going to keep coming back to that, I think, the rest of this third quarter.
That was Greg Padgett, the senior, targeted on that play. We've seen Tremaine look for Padgett in the end zone on other occasions so far today. Hasn't been looking for Evan Aguan, surprisingly, who had 3 touchdown catches last week against Chapman. Laverne brings the blitz here, but he's able to shovel pass it out. Laverne still a big play there on defense, a huge stop.
And that play was the one they stuffed earlier in the game on that shovel pass to the running back, except for the running back the last time bounced off a couple defenders and picked up some positive yards. This time, big number 52 for the Laverne D-line comes up big, and there is no way he was going to let that running back go.
Anthony Esquivel from Rowland Heights, transfer student from Greenville College, making the big tackle on T.C. Williams. That's Redlands' senior running back. So the Bulldogs go back to the drawing board here, 3rd and really long, looking for a conversion to try and make something happen. Ball spotted at the 40. Tremaine takes the snap, faces more pressure, dumps it off quickly to Aguan, and Aguan will use his feet. Whether he got the first down is the question. There you can see the receiving core for Redlands trying to motion for the hurry-up offense. They wanted to keep it rolling. Laverne.
And there's that tunnel screen where that receiver's going to come back inside. Laverne brought pressure from the wide side of the field with Delonte Moore, and that receiver caught that ball coming back inside. All those linemen are going to give and then go out and attack those linebackers and those DBs as that receiver comes back inside on the screen play. Almost picked up the first down, but it looks like they're going to go for it here on 4th instead of kicking a field goal.
4th and short, 4th and about 2 from the 22, just outside the red zone. Redlands is going to go for it. Tremaine, a quick pass, dropped by Aguan. Whether that was complete or not is another question. Laverne ends up on top of it. It'll be their ball either way.
What a great defensive play. Bang, bang, they're going after the ball. They got a turnover to start the half. They got a turnover on downs or a fumble, however the referees rule this thing, but what a great job. The bending but not breaking on defense for this series. They're really showing a lot of grit on this drive.
It's been what's needed here in this second half, trailing by 10. The score has remained 17-7, Bulldogs leading. Leopards forcing a turnover on downs. They'll take it over with the clock at 2:46 in the third quarter. No rain here in the second half. Field is dry. Conditions are better. It's a bit windy, but Nick Garcia still trying to lead the Leopards to more points. Run play there handed to Uribe. Pickup of just a couple.
So Uribe gets the nod here to start this series. This is a must-score series right now for the Leopards. Got to get down there, get some points at this point in time during the game. Bring this back to a one-possession ball game. Don't need to get it all right now, just need to get something.
Ball is marked at the 27, 2nd down. Nick Garcia keeping it himself. Brought down by the Bulldogs. Making the tackle there, that was number 90, Nathan Davis.
And I thought Nick Garcia had a chance right there. He pumped, got one or two defenders up in the air, and then but the gaps were so small, there was not enough room for him to get it and scoot out through the middle of the pile.
Garcia, not the best of the Laverne quarterbacks on his feet running the ball, but trying to find an opening there. Just got smothered quickly by the Bulldogs defense, who was able to recover. 3rd down and about 10 once again from the 24-yard line. Garcia pre-snap motion. That's Jimmy Rumsey. Now he's looking for him over the middle. Pass looked to be tipped right there by the Redlands D-line. Good play by number 75, Ruben Avila, just to get a fingertip on it.
And if I'm not mistaken, that might be the interior defensive lineman dropping. And that is an absolute dream for an interior lineman to drop like a linebacker, get his big old paw on the ball. I see him shaking his head over there because that might be a once-in-a-lifetime interception opportunity, and that might be it for him.
That was certainly a big play controlled by Avila, able to get his hands on it, prevented Rumsey from coming away with the catch on the slant over the middle. Instead, it's a punt opportunity for freshman Sean Garvey, who boots it behind midfield, recovered around the 40, and Aguan is trying to break through the Leopards, but brought down near the 50.
And what you're seeing with the punt return team for Redlands right now is 2 punt returners, and what it's given them the opportunity to do right now is have an extra blocker back there for their punt return team. So the Leopards are having to scour the hole using all 53 1/3 east to west right now and really trying to make sure that they don't give up any big, cheap special teams plays right now. Ball still on towards midfield, so looks like the Bulldogs are still working with a short field on offense.
First down and 10 from Redlands' own 49-yard line. Tyler Tremaine from Folsom, California. Looking for more here, his first points in the second half. Handoff to Tony Williams. Good job by the Leopards defense, stopping him early.
And he hit a wall again, a wall of green as he started to hop skip right through there. Tried to make a move to his left, and there was no room to run.
Redlands has separated themselves in the run game so far in the second half. On just 22 attempts, Redlands has rushed for 102 yards. On 25 attempts, Laverne only 67 yards, and the passing game is controlled by Redlands too. 168 passing yards to Laverne's only 71. Laverne still trying to stay in this ball game. 17-7, Bulldogs lead by 10. Leopards looked like they brought the pass rush, but a run play to the outside, from Tony Williams.
And we're seeing yellow hankies on the field right now, so maybe some extracurricular there after the play was over. But as you noticed and said, Nate, double leverage pressure coming from the wide side of the field with 2 linebackers off the edge, but into the boundary, the defensive line and outside linebacker were able to hold the point and really string that thing along, so it wasn't able to pick up too much positive yards. So you got 3rd and long right now as it stands.
Somebody's down just in front of the Redlands sideline. You're watching Skyac football on Laverne Community Television. Redlands 17, Laverne 7. Awaiting
It looks like the referee powwow, they're just solidifying that it is in fact 3rd down. They haven't moved the chain crew at all, so looks like they're talking to both head coaches right now, fill them in on what the details of that call were.
We're still unsure. We did hear the referees say it would be 3rd down. But that's about all we've got here. 13 seconds before the conclusion of the 3rd quarter. Redlands has the ball in Laverne territory, or just before Laverne territory, it looks like.
And Nate, this is what you see when you start really committing to run the football, which both offenses have, is that quarter goes by fast. That clock, those 15 minutes go by really, really quick. Next thing you know, you look up and you go, where'd the 3rd quarter go?
That was exactly really what happened to us.
Still 17-7, but both offenses are really trying to establish the ground game right now, with Redlands really pulling away, like you said, statistically wise.
Into the 3rd.
So a quiet 3rd quarter. Go ahead, Caesar.
I was going to say, but the Leopards are still trying to commit to it. They still came out in the 3rd quarter and really tried to run it down their throat. It wasn't necessarily as successful statistically wise, but you could see ULV really committing to it.
The Leopards certainly something to build on as we head to the 4th quarter. You're watching Skyac football on LVTV 3. University of Redlands 17, University of Laverne 7. 15 more minutes of football from Ortmeyer Stadium. The University of Redlands trying to preserve a 17-7 lead over the hometown University of Laverne Leopards. I'm Nate Rodriguez alongside Cesar Rivas, bringing to you today's Saturday afternoon SCIAC football action. It's been a rainy afternoon so far, but during this second half, much drier as Nick Garcia and the Leopards try to climb back into this game. Tyler Tremaine and the Bulldogs trying to build on their 10-point lead as the sophomore quarterback scrambles to his left, throws over the middle, and connects with number 81, Seth Weller.
I'll tell you what, Tyler Tremaine had some nifty footwork on that play. He avoided about 3 different D linemen from Laverne inside the pocket, then worked laterally at the line of scrimmage, found that late crosser over the middle, completed that ball for a first down. That was a nice nifty little play by the quarterback.
1st and 10 from the Laverne 34. We're within the 4th quarter of action here from Ortmeyer Stadium at the University of Laverne. Leopards came into this game a record of 1-2, 0-1 in SCIAC play. Bulldogs were the opposite, 2-1, 1-0 in SCIAC play, looking for their second win. Play stays alive and is brought down just about the 30-yard line.
And again, number 6, Tony Williams on the outside zone running play. It looked like he was stopped for no gain, but then what we call dirty yardage or junk yardage, the yards after contact, where he just kept running his feet and driving that pile. And right now, if Laverne wants to stay in this ball game, the defense has got to create another stop, whether it's on downs or a turnover right here.
Laverne did an exceptional job in the 3rd quarter of preventing Redlands from moving into the red zone. A lot of big stops down the field for Laverne in their own territory to prevent the score from moving. Here we're going to have a timeout.
Something else, the big takeaway from this, and again, knowing the University of Laverne program a little bit more, is that there's a lot of new faces over there that are playing today based on some injury. It's about week 5 of the season. Guys are starting to get a little bugged up, and some bumps and bruises and some injuries that weren't necessarily showing themselves in the first 2 weeks. They're kind of, you get to see some guys walking around in walking boots and crutches over there, and so you're seeing some new faces over on defense and offense, and they're playing tough. You see Coach Adams right now talking to the defense in the middle of that huddle, trying to get everybody going, seeing what he's going to dial up here on 2nd and about 6 for the Bulldog offense.
2nd and 6, as Cesar mentioned, ball on the 30, 10-point game from Ortmeyer Stadium. Redlands 17, Laverne 7. A couple of touchdowns in the first half, one courtesy of Tony Williams on a dive over the Laverne defensive line. The other, a pass from quarterback Trevor Tremaine to the receiver Sperling. Here Tremaine will drop back, pass from the pocket over the middle, but incomplete.
And again, there's that seam up the far sideline, up that far hash. The quarterback trying to get into his number 2 receiver. Saw a window, just ball fell a little bit flat. Good job by the defense of putting some pressure on the quarterback, trying to get that ball and affect that trajectory of that ball, release it from the quarterback's hand.
Tremaine looking for Cheney there on that last play. Grant Cheney wearing number 21, 6'3", 241-pound tight end. It's a big body moving on offense for the Bulldogs. 13:38 remaining in regulation. 3rd and 5. Tremaine, a dump pass off to Tony Williams. Williams, Redlands all-purpose guy, being used for the first down yet again.
And sometimes simple is just better. Just easy swing pass. You could probably, that quarterback and running back could probably do that in their sleep. You know, Tyler Tremaine and Tony Williams probably run that play at practice only about 1,000 times. And sometimes, you know, you just get your playmakers the ball in space as they did, and he was able to convert on 3rd and 6.
For Williams, looks like his second catch of the game. 14th completed pass for Tyler Tremaine. Just short of 52% as Tremaine's pass is tipped and picked off. A big interception for the Leopards. Big play by whoever that was just to get a hand on it.
And that's number 28, Oscar Montenegro, again with a huge turnover. But as you said, that ball got tipped at the line of scrimmage by a defensive lineman. They were trying to go back up through the seam again. Either that or hit the dig, that dig window. And I'm not sure who got their hand on the ball, Nate. Maybe you have a better look on that than I did, but I'll tell you what, that's a big-time play for the Leopards.
Second interception of the game. I thought it was Joseph Tenna looking at the replay who might have got his finger tipped on it, just trying to see the bodies that were near where it happened. Obviously, Oscar Montenegro coming away with the interception. A big-time play to get Laverne the ball back. Just under 13 minutes in the fourth quarter. Garcia swinging right, looking for a pass option. Rumsey comes down with it.
And guess who? Number 84 again, Johnny on the spot.
This one's complete too. Last time, remember, had that catch. We thought Rumsey came down with it, lost it between his legs, and he made impact with the ground. This one's good enough for a first down and will move the chains.
And that's where I say that gunslinger back there, number 7, Nick Garcia, it might not always be on script, but then you go, oh, no, no, oh, yeah, great play, buddy.
Garcia calls for the snap, looks to his right again, instead will go left. Right up the middle, Garcia takes it on the handoff.
And the sprinkles are starting to come down again here, Nate.
Just around 12 minutes left to play. We already experienced a lightning delay. If we were coming out of the third quarter a little late for your liking, it was because we had a 30-minute lightning delay just as halftime started. It's 3:21 here from Ortmeyer Stadium. Kickoff was at 1:02 p.m. Trying to finish the last 11 and a half minutes of this SCIAC Saturday afternoon battle. Garcia facing some pressure, able to break a tackle. Looking to his right again. That's where he gets picked off. Just in front of the Redlands sideline. Garcia's pass ended well short, picked by the Bulldogs. And the maroon and whites got it right back.
And Nate, he went for it again in that same area that he completed the ball to Rumsey before. Up on that sideline late. And this time the DB stepped right in front of it. Said, nah, shame on me if you do it twice, and he got it. He got him on this go-around.
Senior Elijah Valles from Oceanside, California with the interception on that play. Big-time play for Redlands. Both drives ending in back-to-back interceptions for both teams. 11 minutes, 29 seconds on the clock. Laverne's defense will need to answer the call.
And as you said, there's 11:29 left on the clock, and both teams have 2 timeouts. Laverne down by 10. They're going to need a huge play by their defense again.
Tremaine, play action, facing pressure, and Laverne gets to him. Big sack right there. Looked like it was number 94, David Vega.
And David Vega had that big fumble recovery earlier in the game. He's coming up with a big sack to put them back into second and long. Great job getting after the quarterback for the Laverne D-line.
Big play for the Leopards following the interception. The defense coming right onto the field and answering back. A good back and forth battle between these two teams here on a rainy Saturday afternoon.
Let's see what the strategy is of Redlands right here. If they're going to still try to throw the pill around the field with a 10-point lead or commit to running the ball.
Play action, Tremaine facing pressure. Rolling right, looking for a man. Overthrown and out of bounds, incomplete.
And there's a late flag over here that was thrown on the Redlands sideline. I'm not sure whether that was illegal man downfield or some sort of holding call by the defense.
Here it looks like we'll await the Whitecaps Official call.
Field number 53. Penalties declined. Third down.
So that's exactly what that was, Nate, illegal man downfield. Usually when you see that on the line of scrimmage, that's the responsibility of that ref over here next to the sticks to keep his eye out for illegal offensive linemen moseying down, as we'll call it, downfield. That's the tough part. You have a scrambling quarterback, as both teams do, and once in a while it kind of nips you in the rear end with your offensive lineman trying to block for them a little past that little safety zone.
Just over 10.5 to play. Tyler Tremaine drops back, looks left. He's got a man, Evan Aguan, but he's overthrown him all day long. Does so right there again.
And there's a brief little window right there between the corner and the safety for him to thread that needle, and that safety was making it over his way over the top. Number 34, Kekoa Barnes, and that freshman safety might have had himself a pick if that ball was any more inbounds.
So a quick 3 and out for Tremaine and the Bulldogs, just under 10.5.
And I guess that answers my question there, Nate, on what they wanted to do. Yeah, whether or not they were going to go for it or not. But it's fourth and forever, and they're going to play the game of field position up 10 points with 10.5 minutes left in the ballgame.
Vicente Garcia will boot it. Looks like that'll land beyond the end zone. Took a nice little hop just at the front of it. Looked like it might have gone Redlands' way for a second, but should be a touchback for the Leopards.
Yep, look, for a quick second there, I thought that ball might have landed and bounced laterally into about the 1 yard line, but both referees were Johnny on the spot and ruled that thing a touchback, so that ball's going to get placed at the 20.
So Laverne will take over at the 20-yard line. 10 minutes, 19 seconds left to play here in this Saturday battle. These two teams clawing after one another. All the scoring getting done in the first half. Touchdown run and a touchdown pass, plus a field goal for the Bulldogs. 1 touchdown pass for the Leopards. That was from Garcia to Uribe. Here, Garcia facing pressure. Can't get it out of his hands, and pass ends up well short.
Well, that ball actually, or his arm got hit as he was releasing that ball. So that's the reason why that ball came out looking a little funky out of his hand.
Pass was intended for Travion Davies. Redlands was all in Garcia's grill on that last play.
It's interesting to see the defensive look right here, guys. You're looking at what's typically a 3-down odd front, and they're going to get into walking this thing up and get the 4-down linemen.
Garcia facing more pressure. This time it's going to get to him. A trio of Bulldogs able to get in there and make the sack. You saw the celebration there from number 95, Jax Lee, the junior.
And what you're seeing Redlands do on that last play was go from that 3-down look to walked up a backer to get that even 4-down lineman look, walk down a safety. They're playing with more of a speed package on defense right now, trying to match up with the Laverne offense, knowing that they're going to have to be in pass situations every possession here on out.
There you see Lee just wrap his arms around Garcia and bring down the transfer student from Glendale. Laverne giving the ball to Travion Davies, and Davies had absolutely nowhere to go.
Well, you don't mind the call on 3rd and forever. They're trying to do sprint out draw on this, trying to get the defense to overcommit to the left side of the field and then go and sprint draw back to the right, knowing that they're in soft coverage and hopefully they could spring the running back, but the defensive line and the linebackers converged on that, weren't able to come up with too much on the offense there.
Sean Garvey, the freshman, out for another punt attempt. Gets it off to the front of the Redlands sidelines. It'll bounce out of bounds. So Redlands will take back over. 8 minutes, 49 seconds on the clock. They lead by 10, 17-7. Tyler Tremaine, the sophomore from Folsom, has been at the helm of everything so far. Jordan Love came on for a play, but came right back off. So now the Leopards will need a big stop and to make something happen quickly on offense if they want to stay in it.
Both defenses are really coming to play right now in the second half. Laverne's defense being a little bit more opportunistic. They're giving up some yardage, but then making big plays. And Redlands defense not necessarily getting the turnovers, but definitely playing tough defense and tackles for losses and sacks, getting some heat on the quarterback.
Redlands does have about 145 more total yards than Laverne so far today. Handoff play to Tony Williams, and he's brought down.
Laverne defense put the pressure on.
Mark my words, that was Jordan Ford, as a matter of fact, carrying the ball there in for Tremaine.
Yep, number 1, the sophomore, 5'11", 173, got the handoff, but there was really nowhere for him to go, so it's going to be 2nd and 12 right now. And it's going to be interesting to see what Coach Good does here on offense for Redlands, on whether he commits to this run 10 points up, control the clock. There's 8 minutes and 12 seconds left to go in the ball game, leading 17-7. They're going to throw the football again.
That was nearly picked off right there. Pass was tipped by Artis Orange the second. You see him with the nice little celebration there. Big play by the Leopards. 8 minutes, 4 seconds. Rain is starting to come down again here from Ortmeyer Stadium.
And the Laverne defense just subbed out a linebacker here, so they're going more into this nickel type dime package. They're usually playing with the nickel personnel already with 3 down linemen, but they stuck another DB out there right now, took out a linebacker. They're prepared for this, for throwing the football down the field.
Jordan Ford is the sophomore quarterback in. He throws over the middle, and the Leopards nearly pick him off. That might be a costly dropped interception right there for the Leopards. They'll have to take it moment by moment. That was Kakoa Barnes, the freshman.
And that was going to just end up being just a long punt anyway, but we dropped it, and he's right now shaking his head going, I had some real opportunities to have some green real estate in front of me, and I think he saw all that greenery in front of him before he actually caught the football.
Ball first. So it's a long boot for Redlands. Fair catch called by Laverne. But there's a flag on the play as well.
And that flag's coming all the way back from the back judge on the Laverne sideline over by the goal line. And he threw that flag about a good 25 to 30 yards from the nearest person on the field. I'm wondering if that's a sideline warning or not. Or 12 guys on the field. That ball was snapped, give or take, around midfield, and that flag is down on the 5-yard line.
Waiting the official ruling from the white cap there you see on the screen. Haven't heard him come through with
The
it.
substitution, defense, penalties declined. First down, Laverne.
So it'll be a first down for Laverne. Ball is spotted at their own 12-yard line. Rain now starting to come down again a little bit harder. Kind of surprising, given the rain clouds don't seem so bad.
So what they're saying is that Laverne just couldn't get their 12th guy off the field. And that's where that flag came from. But the penalty yardage wouldn't be enough for Redlands to pick up a first down anyway. They probably liked the location of the punt and where it was fair caught, which is inside the 20, which is where you want the ball to be anyway. Because now Laverne still has to go roughly 89 yards for a touchdown. You make yourself kick it again in the rain. Now you got all kinds of other concerns and issues on your lap as the head coach. Coach Good's probably thinking, well, we could snap that ball over our head, muff the snap, not kick it as well. Laverne could catch it and pick up some great yardage on a punt return. There's a lot of ifs, ands, or buts. And right now he knows no matter what, the ball's on the 11-yard line of Laverne if he declines the penalty.
So the referee powwow appears to be over. Play looks to resume with the ball at the 12-yard line. Leaning on the chains people to bring him on back down.
That looks like what Coach Good's going to do over for Redlands, which is decline it and make Laverne work 89 yards.
7:52 on the clock. Redlands 17, Laverne 7. Neither team scoring in the second half. Both defenses playing exceptionally well, keeping the score where it's at. Garcia quick over the middle to Jimmy Rumsey.
Short gain on the pass for the Leopards.
Again, 84's the #1 receiver today. Rumsey's coming up big in clutch situations, short and long. Nick Garcia finding some confidence with his #1 receiver. Let's see if he diversifies the wealth here on this drive.
Rumsey looking in, or Garcia looking in Rumsey's direction again, I should say. That pass nearing the Laverne sideline is incomplete.
Or you could say that was complete to Jamar Brown on the sideline.
On the sideline, that's true. That is true.
Number 9, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
So that'll benefit the Leopards. The pass interference call against Redlands awards the Leopards 15 yards. 7 minutes, 18 seconds as the chains will move, courtesy of another Redlands blunder.
Well, and you're seeing some people over here on wearing white jerseys asking for that was a uncatchable ball, but in college and high school football, that's not an actual rule. It's only in the NFL. If there's pass interference, the flag's going to get thrown.
Garcia airing it out near the Laverne sideline. That was a really heavily contested ball intended for number 18, McKenna Ramos-Camaca. MRK hasn't been targeted all game long up till that point. Nearly had a real big catch there that would have put the Leopards in great position. Thought it was Ramos-Camaca, but Braden Varney, number 19, was the intended receiver. Ramos-Camaca dealing with a bit of injury out on the sideline. Those two numbers looking nearly identical from our vantage point here.
Great job by the corner on the last play, too.
Garcia just smothered up right there. Another sack for Redlands. Handling business. Garcia nowhere to go.
And late pressure that the Bulldog defense brought on that play, got in his face in the passing lane. Nick Garcia just couldn't see down his lane, downfield at all. Bunch of white jerseys waving their big old paws in his face.
Camden Carmen came off that play looking like he made the sack, number 41. Riverside native, listed at 6'1", 200 pounds, graduated from Riverside Poly High School. Garcia here on 3rd down and long will scramble, facing immense pressure, just gets it out of his hands, and incomplete.
Now, the Redlands sideline's asking for intentional grounding, but he had left the pocket, went back into the pocket, and then Jimmy Rumsey was screaming down the sideline to say, hey, I'm here, I'm eligible, and he was throwing the ball to me, and so there's no flag. And a little bit of theatrics here by the Laverne receiver to help out his quarterback there to not get the intentional grounding penalty.
Redlands sideline was all asking for it as a collective unit. Rumsey there to prevent the call going the other way. Flag thrown early as soon as the ball was caught by Redlands there. We'll see what happens as they brought it down their own sideline. Now 2 more flags being thrown. Looks like there's a lot going on between the two sides near midfield.
Some extracurriculars, and that's really disappointing right now to see at this point of a really hard-fought game by both teams for people to start losing their cool and personal conduct penalties getting thrown around in a close ball game. You like to see it being handled a little bit differently.
Laverne was really having a clean game up to this point. Now we'll see what happens. Obviously, Tension starting to raise a little bit. Here's the kick from Sean Garvey. And you see things start to happen near the middle of the field there. You have a
right
dog
on top
pile.
of the local. Yeah, right on top of the logo, yep.
He's holding them down. Not sure who really instigated that, but that was a bulldog on top of a leopard right there on the LV in the middle of Ortmeyer Stadium.
And sometimes it's left up to the interpretation of the white hat, where he goes, well, that was either excessive blocking, it was unnecessary roughness, it could have been holding, it could have been retaliation after the fact. The second guy usually gets it.
Number 2, Verne. 15-yard penalty.
First down, Redlands.
And that's what it looks like. It looks like
Salah O'Day, the junior cornerback for Laverne, will have a personal foul called against him. So for Redlands, just adding gas to the fire, a 10-point lead in a 17-7 game. We've got just over 6 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, and now Redlands looking to put the stamp of approval on this one, come back out and try to score a few points. For Laverne, imperative that they get a stop, and after the stop, imperative that they're able to put points up on the board of their own.
And I'll tell you what, Nate, they've actually come up really, really big the last few series. I know the believability factor right now, a la Coach Prime, just believe. They're feeling it right now. So regardless of the score, they're playing some really good defense, and hopefully that they can come on up with another stop. I know that's what their coaches are telling them. And right now, I'm sure the University of Redlands head coach and offensive coordinator, play caller, Coach Goods, telling them, hold on to the ball.
Head coach Jim Good of the Bulldogs trying to improve to 3-1. Head coach Chris Creek of the Leopards trying to improve to 2-2. Quarterback Jordan Ford is out there in place of Tremaine. He hands it off to Tony Williams, who's able to spin forward for a couple extra yards.
Bulldogs punching up the middle.
And I have a feeling here, Nate, that's what the Bulldogs are going to try to commit to the last 5 minutes and 45 seconds of the game, up 2 scores, knowing full well that just to even get back in this, the Leopards are going to need 2 possessions. And if they can just hold on to the clock and run it on out here, they're going to sneak away with a win.
Ford gets the play from his sideline, relays it to the huddle, and he'll come back with 5:25 left in the fourth. Clock still ticking. As my partner mentioned, Redlands likely to try and run the clock down as far as they can. Another handoff to Williams.
And a monstrous hit by number 52 came on in. Anthony Esquivel from the University of Redlands just went right flat down the line of scrimmage and just picked the ball carrier up off his feet.
Big hit there by Esquivel. Leopards defense really fighting hard to keep their team in this game. It's Nick Garcia and the offense that have marched down the field and come up just short a couple of times. Had a couple of those final plays to conclude those drives gone different. It might be different here, but it's 17-7, 4.5 minutes remaining. Leopards need at least 10 to push it past this fourth quarter. Another handoff, and Redlands is able to pick up a few more yards, pick up the first down, and move the chains. We'll have less than 4 minutes on the clock here in this fourth by the time the next snap is taken.
And the offense by the University of Redlands is going to bleed out the clock here. They're going to huddle on up. They're going to waste every last second they possibly can before they snap the ball. They're not in a hurry. They're going to slow this thing on down. We've got 2 timeouts for both teams right now, and I'm going to see how Coach Creek uses these last 2 timeouts and trying to slow this offense down a little bit and make sure that all the time's used.
Jordan Ford handing it off this time to a different running back for Redlands as the rain comes down harder. Olicia Arambola able to stay on his feet, make a play happen.
And that's tough right now on the Leopard defense. They had him for about a -5 or 6 yard run, but the rain was coming down and he slipped out of them like he was coated in canola oil. I mean, holy smokes, he comes on out and slips through about 8 different would-be Laverne tacklers on getting downfield. Great run by the running back. I know the defensive guys are trying to strip at the football. That's going to have play a factor here with all this rain coming on down.
I'll tell you what, it's been a light sprinkle to this point. Now it is drenching everybody out here at Ortmeyer. Everybody in the stands has got an umbrella, and if you don't, then you wish you did. 2 minutes, 45 seconds, another hard hit right there at the line of scrimmage. And Redlands is just partying in the rain. They can feel it. All the momentum is with the Bulldogs. As the rain comes harder, so does the Bulldogs' excitement. 17-7, 10-point game here from the University of Laverne. Everybody trying to stay dry now as we got
including
a few
us,
more
Nate,
minutes.
including us.
A few more minutes trying to survive this rain. Two minutes, 10 seconds left to play with the clock still ticking. Jordan Ford in for Tyler Tremaine. Ford slips on his own 2 feet.
The ball was down, actually. Nate, they dropped that the mesh between the quarterback and the running back. They put the ball on the ground, and that's where, you know, when you're not playing under center and you're playing 100% in shotgun, sometimes it becomes a little tricky here in inclement weather on making sure that you secure not only just the handoff, but also the snap.
Trying to get a look at the replay right there. Came on just a second too late. Extreme wet conditions here from Ortmeyer Stadium came all of a sudden with just 2 minutes remaining in this game. Now trying desperately just to stay dry, whether you're a fan, a player, a coach, or a broadcaster, I guess, if you will. 2 minutes remaining, 17-7. Redlands leads by 10. The Bulldogs in line to pick up their 3rd win of 2023, their 2nd conference win. The Leopards in line to fall to 1-3 and 0-2 in SCIAC play.
And the hope right now for the Leopards is that Redlands will actually try to throw the football here and give them a shot at getting their hands on the football.
2nd and long, 2 minutes remaining. Coming right out of the warning. The sophomore Ford calls for the snap, hands it off. It's Olisiera Arambola right there with him. Brought down just inside the 10-yard line.
And that was number 17, Delonte Moore, on the ground again. He's playing his heart out there today, ladies and gentlemen, and he's leaving it all out there.
That was Tony Williams Jr. on that last carry. Delonte Moore showing all that heart, had come off the field a couple times because of some injuries today, but making his way back on, doing everything he can to trying to contribute to this Leopards defense. Final timeout taken by the Leopards as we come back from it. 1 minute and 48 seconds remaining from Ortmeyer Stadium. A lot of energy here on the Redlands sideline. Laverne trying to keep this game where it's at. If you're on campus at the University of Laverne, the undefeated volleyball team will take on Occidental in about 10 minutes. Tony Williams will scamper in for his 2nd touchdown rush of the ball game. Redlands putting their final stamp here on this ball game from Ortmeyer. Another touchdown makes it 23-7.
And I'll tell you what, that defense just kind of started running out of gas here at the end. They had been making some plays the entire second half, shut out the University of Redland Bulldog offense right up into the 142 mark of the 4th quarter. I tip my hat off to both teams. Both defenses playing great in the second half. Just coming up a little short here with the University of Laverne on the point side, but I will tell you what, there's a lot of positive things to come from this outing. Some vast improvements on both sides of the ball, including special teams from just a week ago. And this is a really good University of Redlands team. They put it on Chapman last week. They played a top 10 team earlier in the year to a single possession game. And I'll tell you what, the University of Laverne football program is making some strides. Might not come away with the W today, but you can see some major growth in a very short period of time.
Definitely playing as a cohesive unit for one another throughout this game. 1 minute and 42 seconds remaining on the clock. 24-7, Redlands leads. Ball is mishandled in the backfield by Laverne. They'll try and scramble past out the 10-yard line. That's number 5, Travion Davies, brought down around the 13 with 1:36 on the clock.
13 on the return.
Ortmeyer Stadium now getting soaked here at the end of this one.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a 3-possession game. Not impossible. It's 1:36 left in the game. But I'll tell you what, there is still no quit in the Laverne football team right now. I know that offense is going to try to march down the field to get some points here some way, somehow before the end of this ball game.
Coach Chris Creek looking to end this game with some positive notes. Garcia, who's been under center all game long, gets sacked once again, loses his helmet.
And he's going to have to come out, Nick Garcia is going to have to come out of the game for one play here. So we're going to see a new quarterback at least for one play. Looks like number 2, Mr. Tedesco, is going to make his first appearance here with 1:12 left in the ball game.
Tedesco, a sophomore from Rancho Cucamonga, graduated from Alta Loma High School. Got the start the last time the Leopards played here at Ortmeyer Stadium. Calls the snap with exactly 60 seconds left. Tedesco keeps it himself, is brought out of bounds. So Tedesco comes on for a play after Garcia loses his helmet. Looks like he'll stay out on the gridiron for Laverne. Garcia remaining on the sidelines. It'll be Tedesco's snap here. 53 seconds on the clock. 24-7 Redlands leads. Tedesco rolling left, looking for a pass option down the field. Looks like he's able to connect just in front of the Laverne sideline. Pass is ruled complete, and the chains will move.
Taking out to about the 35. Chains are moving with about 36 seconds left here, folks.
And that was a great job of getting out of the pocket, buying some time, looking downfield, thread the needle right on the sideline, stopping the clock all at the same time. So you still got 46 seconds left on the clock with the Leopard offense moving downfield.
1st and 10, ball at the 45. Tedesco keeping it himself, running on his own 2 feet, gets pushed out of bounds, and the clock will stop at 39 seconds.
Leopards taking up to about the 52 or the 53.
Second down and 10. Less than that. Tedesco taking over from the 48-yard line. Leopards trying to get their last few plays in before the end of this one. Tough to handle snap for Tedesco, looking to his right. Pass is incomplete. . 34 seconds remaining on the clock. 3rd down for the Leopards. Trying to get things dry over here underneath the tents and finish this game up. A lot of Precipitation coming down within the last final few minutes of the game. Intense rain as Tedesco looks to make it rain on Redlands, and the Bulldogs just keep everything going for them. Coming away with the interception with just 30 seconds left. That should do it for us here from Ortmeyer Stadium. Tedesco picked off on his one pass play. Coming down with it for Redlands was number 8.
Now I'm going to say that I saw a push-off here by the DB. I thought I could have, yep, there it was. 84 gets pushed into the turf as number 8 goes up top for the pick. And it looks like the refs were a little wet and might not have seen that shove into the turf by Tinsley on Rumsey. And looks like a turnover to finish the ball game.
Coach Creek is out of timeouts with 30 seconds left. Redlands likely to just kneel this and finish it. It's an interception by number 8. Strong safety Scott Tinsley on the play, the senior.
The transfer from Azusa Pacific University.
Tinsley, a big play to end this game, an interception to add to his season statistics as Redlands comes away with their 3rd win of the season. We'll shake hands, look at the scoreboard. 24-7, Redlands takes the Saturday afternoon ball game away from the University of Laverne Leopards. Caesar, what'd you see from both sides today?
I just saw a hard-fought battle. 2 good teams that came on in here, left it out all on the field. 2 good defenses battling themselves, put the offenses in some really uncomfortable situations, creating some turnovers on both sides of the ball. Both offenses having to really dig on deep to try to move the ball downfield. Obviously, the University of Redlands just did a better job of that than Laverne today, but the future's bright. It's a really good University of Redlands team. They've been good for a long time, and so it's a good benchmark for the University of Laverne to see where they're at the midpoint of the season.
A great defensive ball game from both sides, especially to start the second half. Redlands started the scoring with a rushing touchdown from Tony Williams Jr., who ended up with 2 on the day. He scored the Bulldogs' final points. Vicente Garcia, a field goal attempt that was good, was perfect on his point afters as well. Tyler Tremaine, a touchdown pass to Logan Spearline in the second quarter. That marked all of the Redlands scoring. For Laverne, Nick Garcia to Mason Uribe for a 10-yard touchdown. Accounted for the only Leopards points, including Max Jimenez's point after attempt. 24-7 from Ortmeyer Stadium. The Bulldogs take this one from the Leopards and improve to 3-1. The Leopards fall for the 3rd time this season and drop to 1-3. The Leopards next week will play at California Lutheran University at 7 o'clock. Until then, I'm Nate Rodriguez alongside Cesar Rivas. Drive home safely, try to stay dry. Have a good night.